Most people spend their entire lives being played. They think kindness is universal. They believe honesty is the default. They assume others operate with the same moral code they do. This is the mistake that costs you everything. Because while you're extending trust, there are 9 types of people already studying your weaknesses, mapping your fears, calculating exactly how to extract what they need from you. And the worst part? You won't even know it's happening until you've already given them everything. What you're about to learn exists in the shadows of human interaction. Most people will never understand this. They'll remain blind, confused about why their relationships always seem one-sided, why certain people always win, why they always end up losing. But you're different. You're here because something inside you knows there's a game being played that no one openly discusses, and you're ready to see it. Drop a single word in the comments, aware. Not from me, for you, to mark the moment you stopped being prey. Type 1. The architect of dependency. This manipulator doesn't control you through force. They control you through need. They make themselves indispensable. Slowly, methodically, they position themselves as the solution to problems you didn't even know you had. They offer help before you ask. They anticipate your struggles. They become the pillar you lean on. And then, quietly, they own you. Machiavelli understood this. Make yourself necessary, and you will never be discarded. Look at how this plays out. A colleague who always saves you from mistakes. A partner who handles everything so you don't have to think. A friend who's always there, always fixing, always solving. You feel grateful. You should feel trapped. Because the moment you try to stand on your own, they remind you, subtly or directly, that you can't. They've engineered your dependence. Your confidence has been slowly drained and replaced with reliance. How do you recognize them? They never teach you to solve problems. They only solve them for you. They create a world where you need them more every day. The counter-move. Build your own confidence in silence. Never let anyone become irreplaceable in your life. Gratitude is fine. Dependency is death. But here's the twist most people miss. The architect often believes they're helping. They've convinced themselves they're generous. This makes them more dangerous. They'll destroy you with good intentions. Type 3. The mirror. This manipulator is whoever you need them to be. They have no fixed identity, no core self. They are a reflection machine, calibrated to show you exactly what makes you comfortable, attracted, trusting. You like philosophy? They've always loved philosophy. You value loyalty. Loyalty is their religion. You're ambitious? They're the most driven person you'll ever meet. It feels like destiny, like you finally found your person. It's espionage. Robert Greene said it best.
When you mirror people, they feel a comfortable familiarity. They see themselves in you, and trust follows. The mirror studies you with surgical precision. They identify your values, your insecurities, your dreams. Then they construct a personality designed to activate your attachment. Politicians do this. Salespeople do this. Narcissists do this. And it works because humans are wired to trust similarity. We bond with people who reflect us. The mirror knows this and exploits it without conscience. How do you catch them? Test for consistency over time. Push into areas where you disagree. See if they have any opinions that aren't borrowed from you. Watch what happens when mirroring you stops serving their goal. You'll notice something chilling. Beneath the reflection, there's nothing. Or worse, there's someone else entirely. Your defense? Stay anchored in who you are. Don't fall in love with your own reflection. And remember, someone who becomes everything you want is someone who wants something from you. The warning? The mirror doesn't just take your trust, they take your reality. You start doubting your own perceptions because they've made you see what isn't there.
Type 4, the judge. This manipulator controls through constant evaluation. They don't attack you directly. They simply make you aware that you're always being measured, weighed, assessed, and you're always, somehow, just slightly lacking. Not enough, not quite, almost, but not really. This is control through perpetual judgment. The judge creates an environment where you're endlessly trying to prove yourself worthy. You're performing, auditioning, seeking approval that never fully comes. And the cruelest part? You don't even realize you're in a cage. Nietzsche warned, beware of those who constantly find fault. They are diminishing you to elevate themselves. You'll find the judge everywhere, the boss who never acknowledges your wins but highlights every flaw, the parent whose love feels conditional on perfection, the partner whose affection is always just out of reach, contingent on you being better. They train you to police yourself. You start hearing their voice in your head, criticizing, correcting, comparing. You become your own jailer. How do you identify them? Notice if you feel like you're always auditioning in their presence. Notice if praise is rare, but criticism is abundant. Notice if their approval feels like a drug you're constantly chasing. Your move? Stop performing. Stop seeking validation from someone who's designed the game so you can never win. Their standards aren't real metrics. They're control mechanisms. Here's the secret they don't want you to know. The judge needs you to feel inferior because their entire sense of power depends on it. The moment you stop seeking their approval, their power evaporates. And that's when they either double down or disappear.
Type 5, the strategist. This manipulator is 3 moves ahead while you're still processing the current one. They don't react, they orchestrate. Every conversation, every favor, every piece of information they share is a calculated placement on a chessboard you didn't know existed. They are patient, methodical, and by the time you realize you've been maneuvered, it's already too late. Sun Tzu said it, all warfare is based on deception. The strategist operates in layers. Surface level, they're helpful, friendly, reasonable. Beneath that, they're gathering intelligence. Beneath that, they're positioning assets. And at the deepest level, they're executing a plan you never saw coming. You'll encounter them in business, in politics, in families. The colleague who always knows just enough to be useful, but never reveals their full hand. The friend who introduces you to people, creates opportunities, builds networks, but always in ways that serve a larger design you're not privy to. They trade in influence, information, and obligation. They create debts without you realizing you owe them. How do you spot them? Watch for patterns. Notice if they're always asking questions, but rarely answering them. Notice if they seem unusually interested in your plans, your connections, your resources. Notice if they're building a map of your world. Your counter? Never give them full information. Keep your intentions private. And most importantly, don't mistake their helpfulness for friendship. The strategist has no friends, only assets. The brutal reality: you might be in their plan right now, serving a purpose you don't understand. And the scariest part, they're so good, you might thank them for it.
Type 6. The provocateur. This manipulator doesn't seek control through fear or dependency. They seek it through chaos. They destabilize you. They say things designed to trigger emotional reactions. They create confusion, doubt, anger. They push buttons with surgical precision, then watch you unravel. And while you're emotional, they're calm. While you're reactive, they're strategic. This is how they win. Seneca understood the greatest remedy for anger is delay. The provocateur knows you don't have that delay. They've made sure of it. You see this in toxic relationships. The partner who knows exactly what to say to make you lose composure. The person who brings up painful topics in public settings. The one who gaslights, confuses, then accuses you of being unstable when you react. They aren't trying to resolve anything. They're trying to destabilize you so they can control the narrative. Here's how it works. When you're emotional, you're vulnerable. You say things you don't mean. You make decisions you regret. You reveal information you shouldn't. The provocateur creates this state intentionally, then uses it against you. How do you recognize them? Notice if you're always explaining yourself, always defending, always reacting. Notice if conversations with them leave you feeling crazy. Notice if they stay calm while you spiral. Your defense? Radical emotional control. Do not react. Do not engage. Become stone. The moment they realize their provocations don't land, they lose interest
or escalate so obviously that others finally see them. The warning. The provocateur often accuses you of being the problem. They'll call you sensitive, dramatic, unstable. This is projection. It's also strategic. They're discrediting you while destabilizing you.
Type 7. The Gilded Jailer. This manipulator controls you through generosity. They give you things, opportunities, money, access, comfort. And every gift comes with invisible chains. You feel grateful. You should feel owned. Because nothing they give is free. Every kindness is a down payment on your compliance. Every favor is leverage stored for later use. Baltasar Gracian wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The gilded jailer knows you won't see the cage until you try to leave. This shows up in families with wealth, in relationships with power imbalances, in jobs with golden handcuffs. They provide so well that questioning them feels like betrayal. They've made your life so comfortable that freedom looks like foolishness. And when you try to step away, that's when the gifts become weapons. After everything I've done for you, I gave you everything. You owe me. The debt was never financial. It was always psychological. How do you spot them? Notice if their generosity comes with strings you can't see until you pull. Notice if their gifts make you feel obliged rather than free. Notice if saying no feels impossible. Your move. Never accept what you can't afford to walk away from. Maintain your independence even when it's uncomfortable. Remember, if someone can give you everything, they can take everything. The dark truth, the gilded jailer often loves you, genuinely. But their love is possession disguised as provision, and they will destroy you to keep you.
Type 8. The incrementalist. This manipulator doesn't take everything at once. They take it degree by degree, so slowly you don't notice until there's nothing left. They move boundaries. They normalize the abnormal. They make the unacceptable acceptable through sheer repetition and gradual escalation. This is the most insidious form of manipulation because it bypasses your defenses entirely. The boiling frog isn't a myth. It's a psychological strategy. You see this in abusive relationships. It starts with small criticisms, then isolation from friends, then control over clothing, money, time. Each step is just slightly more than the last, but never enough to trigger alarm. By the time you realize what's happened, you're unrecognizable. You see this in corrupt systems. Rights eroded slowly, freedoms traded gradually. Each compromise seems reasonable in isolation, but the trajectory, it was always toward total control. Aristotle warned, "We are what we repeatedly do." The incrementalist knows this. They're not changing what you do once. They're changing what you repeatedly accept. How do you catch them? Look at the trajectory, not the moment. Where were your boundaries a year ago? 6 months ago? Where are they now? If the movement is always in one direction, toward less autonomy, less self-respect, less freedom, you're being moved. Your counter? Hard boundaries. Not negotiable, not gradual. The moment you see the pattern, you stop it entirely. Because you can't negotiate with incremental manipulation. You can only exit. The brutal truth? By the time most people recognize the incrementalist, they've already lost too much to leave easily. That's the design.
Type 9, the shapeshifter. This is the apex manipulator, the one who masters all the others and uses them situationally. They are the architect when you need support, the victim when they need sympathy, the mirror when they need trust, the judge when they need control, the strategist when they need to win, the provocateur when they need chaos, the gilded jailer when they need loyalty, the incrementalist when they need time. They have no fixed strategy because they have no fixed self. They are pure adaptation, pure survival, pure self-interest. Machiavelli himself was describing the shapeshifter when he wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." This is the person who is beloved by some and feared by others, and no one can quite figure out why. This is the leader who inspires loyalty while destroying dissent. This is the partner who is perfect until they're not, and by then you're too entangled to escape cleanly. The shapeshifter is rare. Most manipulators have a dominant pattern. The shapeshifter has none. Or rather, they have all of them, deployed with precision based on what the situation requires. How do you identify them? You probably can't, not easily, but you can notice the aftermath. Notice if people's experiences of them vary wildly. Notice if they have a trail of discarded relationships. Notice if their story about themselves keeps changing. Your only defense? Trust patterns over words. Trust actions over explanations. And trust your instinct when something feels off, even if you can't articulate why. The terrifying reality: the shapeshifter often wins, because by the time you've figured out what they are, they've already moved on to the next identity, the next victim, the next game. And they do it all without conscience, without hesitation, without remorse. You've just been given a map most people never see. 9 types of manipulators, 9 strategies of control, 9 patterns hiding in plain sight, woven into the fabric of human interaction. But here's what matters now. Awareness without action is just voyeurism. You don't get points for seeing the game. You get survival by playing it better. So the question isn't whether you'll meet these people. You will. You already have. The question is, will you see them coming? Will you recognize the architect before you're dependent, the victim before you're drained, the mirror before you're deceived, the judge before you're broken, the strategist before you're moved, the provocateur before you're destabilized, the gilded jailer
before you're owned, the incrementalist before you're erased, the shapeshifter before you're destroyed. Because power in the modern world isn't about strength. It's about clarity. It's about seeing what others refuse to see, knowing what others refuse to know, and moving through the world with eyes open, boundaries set, and zero illusions about who people really are beneath their masks. Most will call this cynical. Let them. They'll be the ones wondering why they keep getting hurt by the same types of people in different faces. You'll be the one who saw it coming. And that makes all the difference. Stay sharp, stay aware, and remember, the most dangerous game is the one you don't know you're playing.